표준 예문으로 시작합니다.
I'm sorry that your name escaped me. Do you really think that I'm pathetic? Gosh, you thought that I was serious. I know that I can rely on you to sort it out. I was told that you'll marry Jessica this spring. It's possible but not probable that he will succeed. He had improved so much that the doctor had cut his dosage.
이번에는 문법 점검 코너에 실린 예문입니다.
That she got pregnant was beyond doubt. The fact is that I know nothing of it. I recall that I met her. It's an illusion that man is predominant over other species. I was so tense a night before my exams that I couldn't sleep. You may go out for a rest providing that you finish your homework. She turned away so that no one can see that her eyes were filled with tears. Now that we have so many things to achieve, we should decide what to do first.
이때관 용어 기본 예문입니다.
It's true that a picture can be worth 1,000 words. It seems that investment in travel is investment in myself. It goes without saying that our plans depend on the weather. It sounds obvious that you should be sure to drink sufficient water before and after the race.
이때 구문에 대한 발전 및 심화 단계 예문입니다.
It's because he is cruel that I dislike him. It's not that I don't like this, but I like that better. It's chance that we were out when you called. It happened that he was too busy when I called. It was Peter that my cousin took to Norway, not Robert. It's generally agreed that people must meet frequently, and that it is agreeable to talk, and further that it is a matter of common courtesy to say something, even when there is hardly anything to say.
가 목적어 이시 사용되는 경우의 예문입니다.
He thought it best to say nothing about the matter. We found it much tiring to listen to her. I made it a rule never to borrow money from friends. He made it clear that he was not in the least interested. How is it that I can't find it? How is it that you're always behind time? How can it be that my popularity never goes down? Rumor has it that they're getting divorced. Rumor goes around that they're getting divorced. What was it that finally make you give up your job? You may depend on it that it won't happen again. I took it for granted people are born honest. Never let it be said that the manager doesn't know how to motivate his players.
이번에는 주어절을 만드는 데 접속사 예문들입니다.
That he committed an error was beyond doubt. The idea that shops have to open on every Sundays led to heated debates.
명사 보어절을 만드는 데 접속사 기본 예문입니다.
I was persuaded that he is innocent. I persuaded myself that he was innocent. Is quantity all that you think about? Men differ from animal in that they can think and talk.
발전과 심화 단계 예문입니다.
Word on the street is that you'll go to Israel for a postdoc. Many people were amazed to hear that he had grown up poor. It was not until 1911 that the first of the vitamin was identified. A problem for car manufacturers is that lighter cars tend to be noisy. The biggest fear of parents thinking of using the internet at home is that their children will be exposed to pornography.
이번에는 동격절을 만드는 데 접속사 기본 및 발전 단계 예문입니다.
The odds are about 1 in 12 that the boy will be colorblind. I had a hunch that something unpleasant was going to happen. There is a rumor going around that you received a bounty bonus. There goes an argument that the policy discriminates against women. There's a strong likelihood that the matter will soon be settled.
심화 단계입니다.
There is no proof that the suspect was home when he said he was. There have been numerous studies showing that obese people do not necessarily overeat. There is no way that we can finish this project without pulling a few strings from outside. The experiment confirmed Einstein's prediction that light from stars is bent by the sun's gravity.
이번에는 목적절 역할을 하는데 접속사의 기본 예문입니다.
I fully agree that he's the ablest of us. I firmly believe that the blood will tell. He recognized that he had been beaten. He professed that he had no taste for music. I anticipated that the situation will get worse. He accused that the officer had taken the bribes. He complained that the election had been rigged. Prosecutor's office published that he was a suspect. We perceived by his face that he failed in the exam.
이번에는 발전 단계 예문입니다.
I regret that you've been caused inconvenience. She professed that she could do nothing unaided. He pretends that things are okay even when they're not. The defendant protested that he was innocent of the crime. The rules provides that a driver be fined for speeding. I shall demonstrate that language learning is based on repetition. He confessed that he fell in love with her from the moment he saw her. The judge added that this case was one of the worst ones he had ever tried. There is a growing recognition that we should abolish the capital punishment.
심화 단계 예문입니다.
His injury requires that he should wear a neck brace. He will that his property be divided equally among his sons. I need an add that if you fail to do as I ask, you will suffer the consequences. Jane found out that her husband was not the millionaire she thought he was. Think like a millionaire, hustle like you're broke. I fear that, if I don't right now, I shall never have another opportunity to do so. He concluded that he had no other choice but to accept Cole's words as the truth. Biden warned that to negate the result of election would only make things worse. Pythagoras reasoned that the earth could neither be flat nor cylindrical, but only spherical. Women feel that if a man do not look them in the eye when speaking, it means he is lying. Our survey tells that most people do not know how to manage their money and just muddle through. Wealthy people invest first and spend what's left, but broke people spend first and invested what's left. Scientists have discovered that mobile flowers are visited more often by pollinating insects than static counterparts.
접속사 대시 생략되는 경우의 예문입니다.
I think you're overly optimistic. I think I'll go eat lunch. I did the best I could.
기본 예문입니다.
Don't say I told you. I'm glad I called you. She sensed something was amiss. Oops. Something went wrong. We're working on it now. Well, say it's true. What then? I think we've met somewhere before. I promise I'll make sure you pay for that. Forensics says there was another girl there. That's the funniest thing I've ever heard of. Don't you think you're overreacting a little? Don't you think you're being too harsh on me? I know I was closely watched.
발전 예문입니다.
Don't think that I am that easy. You think that you're all that. You think you're special, don't you? Do you think I've aged uselessly? Do you think I was born yesterday? I wish you would have called me. Fred thinks it's all about gut instinct. I think being grumpy runs in this family. You mean she dyed her hair red for real? It's no wonder suicide rates skyrocket this time of year. May I suggest you run for the presidency this time? He felt his house shook every time when the trains passed by.
이제 심화 예문입니다.
I wish I hadn't overheard your conversation. Leave it. I am sure you didn't mean any harm. I realized it doesn't make sense throwing away all those months of hard work. We think that anyone who violates the law should be punished accordingly.
본 모듈의 마지막 복합된 접속사절 예문입니다.
I know nothing except that he lives next door. He takes her part on the presumption that she is innocent. I will take the job only providing that I am given Sundays off. The actress mentioned in passing that she once worked in this factory. We must prepare ourselves on the premise that the worst may happen. He exercised hard in the hope that he would be able to lose weight in short time. He bought the car at last, notwithstanding that the price was extremely expensive. We agree to your plan with the provision that we shall be informed of further progress at regular intervals.
모듈 20은 여기까지입니다. 여러분, 수고 많이 하셨습니다.